Hey, and welcome to Dynamic Tennis Method. Today I'm going to show you how to hit a perfect slice volley. So let's jump in. In previous videos, I showed you how to use a loose dynamic motion to take full advantage of the natural power and timing benefits of using gravity. When it comes to volleying, the conditions you find yourself in tend to be a bit different. For one, the ball is traveling faster at you and tends not to arc, especially if your opponent's trying to pass you. So a few things need to change. Instead of worrying about maximum racket head speed, I want to create as much leverage as possible. And the real power doesn't come from your upper body. It comes from your lower body and the way that you move dynamically. When one walks, whether we realize it or not, you're actually falling over your foot and catching yourself on the foot in front. If you were to widen the space between steps, you would have what's known as a lunge. Now this greater transfer of force is perfectly suited towards the volley. Now there's two parts to hit a good volley. There's the way that you move and the way that you position your racket. With the racket in front of you, flex your wrist back so that the head of the racket is behind the base of the racket. To put these two motions together, you set your racket up and then you lunge. The position of the backhand mirrors the forehand. The racket stays in front of me and the head trails the butt cap as I drop the racket across my shoulder in tandem with my lunge. The final piece of the puzzle, and a key part in timing the volley, is your split step. By extending your racket forward as you prepare for your split step, you will naturally induce the feeling of a lunge step. If I get the timing right, the feeling of the volley is nearly automatic. If you want to teach yourself the right motion for the volley, follow these steps. Hold the racket in a neutral continental grip. The feeling of a continental grip in your hand is similar to holding a kitchen knife. Once you have the right grip, find the right position. Extend the racket in front of you and then flex the wrist back, putting the head of the racket behind the butt cap. You can do this for either side. To create the feeling of a slice, I'm simply going to hold my racket above the contact point and then drop through across the shoulder, across my body with the racket head trailing the wrist. Once you understand the subtle feeling of dropping down through contact, you can then add your lunge step. As you lunge, feel the natural release of the racket across your body, remembering to allow the butt cap of your racket to drop across the shoulder with a straight elbow and to not chop. Once you get the feeling of a lunge step, you can then add a split step to complete the motion. Extend the racket forward as you float into the air and land on your toes. Rebound off the ground and fall into your lunge step. As always, keep the racket in front, the head back, follow through with the butt cap, and relax. So that's how to hit a perfect forehand and backhand backspin volley. Thanks very much for joining us, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.